morning and welcome to what is day 105 of Peter and Doxie sailing from New South Wales to Queensland. And we are in Tin Can Bay, but not only that, if you've followed my previous videos, you'll know that we've had engine mount problems and I've been out anchored in Tin Can Bay for the last 5.5 weeks. But right now I am alongside in the Marina and I am having my mounts worked on at the moment. And hoping for a good outcome today, which would be great. The weather is still rubbish. Yesterday, if you watched, we came in under an absolute downpour and it hasn't really changed too much. A little bit less today maybe so far. I could actually see blue sky this morning for a little while, so didn't see that at all yesterday. So winner. So anyway, we've got Tim working here on the engine mounts. He's just gone off to get a gantry. Obviously, as he said, boat manufacturers absolutely hate mechanics because they bury these engines with very little supposed to work on them. So anyway, let's see what the day brings. Quietly hopeful here that we will get a good outcome. So let's see how it goes. So work begins on the famous engine mounts, and using a gantry here to lift the engine as far as it needs to be, just enough room for it. So yeah, that's a good start at least anyway. But work has finally begun. Okay, so this is the old forward mounts. Okay, Tim's just taken the previous piece I showed you away. He's going to just remove the bolts and everything in his workshop, give it a coat of anti-rust, and bring it back to like new, basically. So that'll be one less thing that's going to deteriorate so quickly over time. Basically, you can go in and see now the mounting plate, the old one, completely sheared off. Yeah, so got the new one here, so we should be good with that. And he also noted, and yeah, I noticed as well, the new one's a lot more robust. Okay, so the plate and everything's a lot thicker. They've obviously used a higher spec for this one, so maybe I wasn't Robinson Crusoe and these things coming apart. So anyway, let's see, we are making some progress. Okay, so meanwhile in Tim's workshop, he's taken the basically the forward mount joiner, if you like. Not quite sure what it's called. There's a little bit of reshaping happening there, so but that was a result of the engine moving more than likely. So he's going to put that back into its original shape. There you go. And he's a budding showman. Obviously going to get rid of the rust and other materials that don't belong on there, and that includes this guy here that's really going to bring it back to the metal. Okay, so back with the forward mounts in place, looking good. Coat of primer, and here's the old one, so you can see basically where the bolt just sheared out of its well or whatever it was. Forward assembly on, just waiting for the mounts, and here they are. Nice strong solid mounts, and also on the side. This is what the after mounts look like. Also pretty cactus, and then separating the propeller shaft from the engine. Okay, so we've reached midday. Things are going reasonably well. All the mounts are on. We're just struggling at the moment with bringing the propeller shaft back up to the engine. The engine went back, so we're bringing it forward again. We can spin the prop by hand, but not pull the shaft forward. So I'm just charging up little camera I've got that can go underwater, and I might stick it underneath to have a look. There is the other option of going down myself. However, I prefer not to do that if I can help it. The water's probably about half a metre of visibility at the moment. So yeah, anyway, we'll try the camera first and see how we go. So at first we thought the thing to try would be looking basically where the propeller shaft comes into the bottom of the boat itself, thinking that, well, perhaps growth had accumulated in 5.5 weeks. However, of course, not very plausible that it would become that thick in that short of a time. So yeah, what I was trying to do here was take my underwater camera and hold it as close to the shaft as I could get. I haven't gained confidence yet to go down there myself any further. Reason being, I don't have any weights, so I kept on drifting up into the hull of the boat, of course, which had barnacles on it. Not too badly, because yes, I did drift up and I got a couple of scratches, but nothing really bad. So I wasn't having much luck. The visibility was absolute rubbish. So at one point I was sitting like this by the ladder, and I let my feet go forward around the rudder, and I felt rope, and I thought, well, that's weird. So I went down and I found there was actually rope wrapped around the propeller shaft between the cutlass and the propeller. So that answered a lot of questions, and that was then the object of my efforts to try and remove. So I went down many times, got little bits and little bits, but it was still wrapped very tightly even after I had to retire from it, basically, because I was just exhausted and it was getting dangerous. So yeah, and then this bloody whale climbed up onto the boat. What the hell's going on here? You can see some of the line there I've cut off. So we did make a start on it, but I was just exhausted by this stage. And so what were the next steps? The options were running out pretty quickly. Tim checked around, and it seemed like most of the people who could help us were away at the moment. He did tell me about Wolf Rock diving in Rainbow Beach. So I gave them a call. And James there was very helpful. He was busy but he said, look, he's see if he can squeeze in tomorrow. So we went with that. I sort of left it at that. And then a little while later, Tim came back, and he was laughing his head off, basically, saying, what are the chances? He just ran into an old acquaintance, Nikki, who used to do a lot of diving on boats and stuff like that, but hasn't for a little while. But she was happy to do it, and the sooner the better, basically, as daylight was critical, which the visibility was bad enough without it being darker as well. So yeah, the next thing I know, Nikki turns up. I had just time enough to go up and get some cash, and came back, and yeah, she went down and several times, and yeah, brought up the rest of the rope, basically, and it was all clear. So winner winner chicken dinner, that was for sure. Saved the day. So as I said, yeah, Nikki did a fantastic job going down and just getting the rest of that horrible rope off. Look at that. It's obviously turned so tightly that it started to melt. So as we go to start it, we find there's a problem with the wiring on the alternator. So Tim's just gone to have a look at some connectors he might have. Let's see. Yeah, what a day. Yeah, when I woke up at whatever time it was this morning, I didn't have any concept that I'd be swimming under the boat and doing stuff like that. So yeah, never know what happens in a sailor's life, eh? it's all about the unexpected and dealing with it. It's funny because, I mean, in a million years I wouldn't think of going swimming in a marina. Because the water's just not very clear, so I don't know what else is in there with me. Yeah, Tim really helped when he said, I'll keep a watch out for Sammy the crocodile. And yeah, never mind the fact it was cold as. But yeah, it's funny. I just lowered myself in, didn't think about it, and thought, right, there's no other way forward, it's just got to do it. So anyway, the day has come to a very good conclusion. We had a few struggles at the end just with a terminal on the alternator, which had basically corroded, but Tim's fixed that. So we've tested everything. We've run the engine up, running forward, running the engine up, running aft, and yeah, smooth as. So oh yeah, hopefully I'll sleep really well tonight. Maybe I'll be aching too much, who knows, but it really is a good conclusion to a very long day. So tomorrow, yeah, maybe shopping and a few other little chores, but I think I'll be taking it slowly. I don't have to cram what I did in today. Anyway, thank you for persevering and following. Things are hotting up now for moving on, and you'll need to subscribe if you don't want to miss that out, that's for sure. So don't forget to like, comment, and share this. And this is Dawn Raider out. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.